Ho 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 ho. Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow League of Legends lovers and haters. Welcome back to another League of Legends reaction video. It is currently 12 a.m., the witching hour, and we are here to react. So, League just released their newest dev update. We've been kind of waiting on this. People have been asking, where is it? Because it's been quite a while since the last one, I think. And League has finally come out with it. So, the main issue is Swarm is gone. Swarm is finally over. The PvE game mode that everyone's been hyping up, that has come and now gone. It was amazing. It was epic. It was awesome. I loved it. Now, generally, the problem with Swarm, excuse me, that's not the problem. The problem with Swarm, as is the problem with generally Vampire Survivors, is the fact that at the beginning it's really good. In the midway cycle, it's still pretty good. Towards the end, you've kind of done everything, you've unlocked everything, and it kind of gets boring, and there's not much to do unless you just really like the gameplay or have time to burn, or just want to progress the pass and don't want to play in regular ranked, or Rift, or Arena, or ARAM. Now they give us options, which is good. But regardless, what are they going to do now? Because now League feels kind of empty, even though I believe Arena is still here. The only issue is you can't get Mastery for Arena, which means you can't get chests, which means I don't like it. But either way, League is shaping up to get crazy. Now, I keep mentioning this, and I'm going to keep mentioning it, because there's a lot of things. Actually, I don't want to say a lot. There's a couple of things in League's history where they've said it and they actually haven't gone through with it. The biggest example that I could remember off the top of my head is fill but not support. Way back in the day, they said, yeah, we're going to introduce a thing called fill but not support. So you could go any other lane but support, but that never came out. I forgot if there was a couple more things that they promised but didn't come out. I think the main things that come to my mind is map skins, announcer packs, stuff like that. But those were more teasers. They didn't really guarantee that. I think they kind of more guaranteed the fill but not support. But either way, I'm going on a tangent. We're here to see what they're doing with the dev update. Now, this isn't something I expect next patch that I'm going to go over in my patch notes videos. This is something I'm expecting for the near future, but not into 2025. This is where I'm very excited for 2025 because, again, this is where I'm going to keep mentioning this. Riot said League is going to go crazy. Now, not their exact words. League is going to go crazy in 2025. 2025 is going to be the year of League of Legends. Not Wild Rift, not Legends of Runeterra, League of Legends. Hopefully. Now, a lot of people thought maybe that had something to do with the MMO. Our wishes and hopes have been shot down by that. But, you know, I'm looking forward to some great-ass things. Hopefully the year ADC becomes great again, but we'll see. Either way, it looks like today we're going over Honor, skins, and more. I really don't know what more they could do with Honor. There's some things in the game that they've added that I kind of feel, I don't want to say fell flat on their face, but kind of doesn't really feel as good, at least to a player like me. Now, granted, I'm an old man, I'm jaded, right? But one of the things that I really think just I don't really care about is challenges. At least I think that's what they're called. They added challenges and it was a whole big thing. It was like a big stat tracking thing that is not Eternals, ironically enough. I actually decently like Eternals. But the whole challenges bullshit kind of came and I was really looking forward to it, and then I was just kind of like, oh, this is whatever, I don't really care. Maybe some people do, but I certainly don't. In terms of Honor, I think Honor could use a little bit of work. Currently, the only things that really matter with Honor is two things. Number one, what you could show off to others. You have the little emote in game and in loading screen that shows kind of what honor level you are, which is all right. You know, if you like showing off that you're honor 5 and you get the back and, you know, you like the little visuals in game, I guess that's something. But realistically speaking, the second thing, which is the more bigger thing, is the loot. Now, on the loot department, they're okay, but they could do way better, and this is where I hope they go with this. Loot wise, we get a capsule every time, or sorry, not a capsule, an orb. We get an honor orb every time we make some milestones, which usually just contains some champion shards and maybe a key, I believe, but really not much there. And obviously, when you get to honor level 5, you get the tokens, and you could get one of two skins, Warwick and Twitch, which is Grey Warwick and Medieval Twitch. Those skins are kind of dated, they kind of suck a lot of ass. So they really don't matter. And realistically speaking, how many Warwick and Twitch players are there? Number one, Twitch is an ADC, so he's out. And number two, Warwick is good. He's a pretty good beginner jungler, but there's a lot better junglers out there. So they could definitely add more skins to the skin line. They could update the old skins. They could do potentially a lot with having the honor skins being just more, honestly. Or they could just give us more rewards for being honorable. I don't know. But they could definitely do a lot with the honor system. Now, the next thing that they have here besides the more, because I can't really go over the more, they have skins. This is something that's a little bit of a mixed bag. And historically speaking, Riot has never really skimped out from their skins until kind of decently recently. I would say maybe past year or so. And what do I mean by this? In every other department, when League is struggling, they cut money from the department. Even esports, they never cut money from the skins department because that's the lifeblood of the game. And lo and behold, what are we getting now? We're getting mythic skins, which are basically just chromas. Echo, Jhin, I forgot who else, but they're like $200 skins. And then if that wasn't bad enough, we got the $500 Ari skin. Now again, these are all cosmetic at the end of the day, but people do care about these things. Now granted, do they care enough to overpower the whales? Sadly, no, as we've seen with historical data on the Ari event. But regardless, these things are important, and the legendaries are basically the middle ground for the most common people. Not the $500 Ari skin, which I already covered on this channel. The skins that are affordable for the common man, at least until inflation really goes crazy. But, yeah, legendaries have been dipping in quality, and obviously we have the last ultimate, which was, in my opinion, a slap in the face. And for those of you who don't know, it was the Samira skin. What was it? Soul Fighter Samira, I think it was called. And it's really sad because I always prayed for an ultimate for Samira. I just prayed for a legendary, and realistically, that's what the skin was. It was a legendary with extra bells and whistles. And this is the sad part of why I think we're in the dark dimension here. That Samira skin should have been the new baseline standard for legendaries coming out. If that was the case, I would kiss Riot on the mouth. But it's not. And they priced that as an ultimate, and it's egregious, it's terrible, it's horrible, it's garbage. But either way, there's other skins that came out. I believe a Karma one came out that basically had almost no new animations. Or, no, it was the Soraka one too. There was a Soraka one that also had shared animations from other skins, which is disgusting for a legendary. So overall, some legendaries are going down in quality. Not to say there aren't good ones, but the skins department is a little lacking. Now, granted, they do have some fan favorite skin lines that we haven't seen in a while, and I heard the Versus event is coming back, which is one of my favorite. Sadly, we haven't seen Project in a hot minute, but that's what Anima Squad was, at least with Swarm. They kind of filled that role. Star Guardian is another favorite. Excuse me, that has no relation. But all these things typically signify more variety. I like that there's more variety, and now we have, more skins in the Mythic Gem shop. That's pretty good too. But overall, skins have gotten better in some ways, especially in terms of variety. Like those Fright Night skins, oh mama, those Halloween Fright Night skins, amazing. However, some other skins like the Soraka Legendary, definitely lower in quality, which is not good. But either way, I've basically talked off everyone's ear for, at this point, longer than the video actually is, just for the intro. So I think it's about time we actually get into the video and then see what the changes are, and then talk for another 20 minutes about that. Because why not? Either way, let's take a look. Let me pause the music here. Actually, the music's low enough. We'll leave it. Let's see what they're doing to the game, and let's see what I think of it.
Hey folks,
Hello.
I'm Andre,
Hi,
also
Andre.
known as Meddler.
And I'm Paul, aka Probro, the newish EP for League.
So this is a good, or not a good thing, but this is a big thing where I believe it was Andre and then, what was it? Andre's Meddler,
Andre,
right?
also known as Meddler.
Yeah, he's Meddler, okay. And then Meddler also had someone else doing the patch notes, or not patch notes, sorry, dev update with him, but he moved to somewhere else in Riot. Thankfully, at least from what I know, he didn't get fired, but he moved somewhere else, but he's still around. But now we have Paul. I don't remember if this is the first time we're seeing Paul, but I honestly don't remember. And it doesn't matter.
And I'm Paul, aka Probro, the newish EP for League. Today is Thursday, August 8th, so as usual, anything that happens after
the beginning of the
will
month.
be covered.
Now, for this dev update, we'll be doing something a little different.
Oh.
We don't have a lot of, really chunky new topics to share.
They're saving that for 2025.
So we're going to be answering some questions we've received from many of you.
Oh, they better talk about Mastery and fucking Arena, because at this point in time, let's be real, Arena's going to become a permanent mode. It's a matter of time.
Yeah. We'll be back
I really hope they don't use that as an excuse not to make new content, though.
with a regular dev update in September, though.
Oh, okay, so literally in the next month. Okay, cool.
So, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
After 10 minutes.
a question for you, Paul.
Okay.
From a player in North America.
Ooh, that's
I've
me,
been
that's
playing
me.
Swarm since its release.
Yes, I love Swarm. I love Swarm. This is where I can already answer this question. Will it be permanent? No, it will not be permanent. Like I said in the beginning, Swarm is really good, right? It's a free thing, which, you know, granted, Vampire Survivors does have more, but more lower quality stuff than Swarm. Swarm is not fully one-to-one a Vampire Survivors copy, but it's really, really close. But it does do some things different from Vampire Survivors that I think are good. Obviously, less content overall, but it's to be expected. But the biggest thing is, people like me, we completed everything in Swarm. I got max animal level, I leveled up every stat, every character, got every challenge, beat every map on every difficulty with every character. Like, you know, we played the mode to death. Now, I don't doubt they might return in the future, and they definitely should. And maybe they can even sell this as its own fucking game. Like, let's be real. They could sell it for like $5. I would buy it. But it's good that they keep it in the client because it counts for the past progress. But there's no way this is going to be permanent, but they might release it again. And they should update it. They could give it a new theme. They better give it new items, new augments. But this is a mode that should return. I think it was really, really fucking good.
Will it be permanent?
Ah.
What about
No.
Arena?
All right.
Arena, yes. Arena, yes.
Right. At the time of this recording, you have all spent over 49 million hours fighting the
Jesus Lord.
Primordians.
We saw
Wow.
a lot of good player feedback, taking notes for future modes,
Yes! Yes!
especially from players looking for ways to play League outside of Summoner's Rift.
Yes! Because Summoner's Rift is toxic, yes! And it's sad, on a personal anecdote here, I used to be a Rift maniac. Now I like playing everything other than Rift. I still dabble in Rift to get the ranked rewards, but after that, I don't really care for ranked. I hit Emerald, you know, I'm good, I'm chilling. But, you know, I love ARAM, I would love Arena if it provided Mastery, and I love Swarm. I like everything but Rift. Because the characters can operate outside of Rift, right? The characters in their kits are decent enough to where they don't need the whole metagame of, like, you know, macro and micro play in Rift. You don't need those. They're good to have, but you don't need them.
We want
For
to
the characters to be fun.
replicate all the fun and success of Swarm in new modes in the future. So
Yes,
thank you for playing.
that's what I said.
We haven't decided on Arena's future yet,
Yes,
but
they did.
we'll be able to talk more about it in our
September.
State of Modes update, which includes coverage of Swarm, Arena, ARAM, and the future of modes in general in our next update.
September.
So
Damn
let's
it.
go on to this question from Korea.
Oh.
Streamers are having their games sniped by people looking to manipulate the game's outcome. What are you doing to fix this?
I mean, the sad part is this is mostly on the streamer. Streamers really have to do like certain steps now. And it's not even a guarantee too, because at the end of the day, if they're in the game, they're gonna figure it out eventually. But you add a delay, which kind of sucks because it ruins the chat experience for the chatters. Although realistically speaking, as a small streamer, those big streamers really don't suffer from it. Like, them having the delay really does not matter. Those people will be in there regardless, but it does hurt. But biggest thing is streamers, you know, add a delay, block the map. They could do things. Is it annoying? Yes. Is it the reality? Yes, sadly. I don't know what Riot could do to fix this other than provide permanent IP bans, but they already do that, so
So we do not
I don't know how to
condone
solve
abuse,
this.
and we're serious about fixing it. We've just shipped some changes in patch 14.15
Vanguard.
to make the penalty for declining queues more severe.
Oh.
First penalty now starts at 2 declines instead of 4, leads to a 5-minute suspension, that then ramps up to 30 minutes and then 12 hours.
Like, Jesus Christ, look at that jump. Okay, 5 to 30, and then just immediately to 12. Not an hour, not 2, 12. They really got serious after that second one.
We want to see how this change lands.
It'll probably land good. The more, you know, strict you make the punishment, the more people are going to adhere to it. People might not like it, but it's true.
We're certainly open to additional changes to how the decline functionality works if needs be, but there are some trade-offs from those to things like increasing time to get into game, or putting AFK players into lobbies, making those eventually get reset when they auto-dodge.
It's terrible.
So, keeping a close eye on the problem, open to further changes if needs be, but there's a bunch of complex trade-offs for
I
us.
like this. I like how they're answering questions.
one comes from
Now,
Europe.
these are obviously
It
curated
feels like
questions,
ADCs
but
have taken over the game recently, and now I have to play the mid.
okay, let me address this shit as the ADC lord, as the ADC master. I've mentioned this a lot in my patch note videos, but I'll mention it here too. ADC is always shit on. Like, it literally is. Any other lane can go into bot lane, Riot does not bat an eye. If ADC goes anywhere else, Riot scrutinizes them, they punish them, and then it's just terrible. Now, granted, ADC is a very specific role. It's a scaling role. It's a carry role, right? They're meant to win the game for all intents and purposes. So if an ADC is doing too good in the early game and then they scale too well, obviously these are issues, but they're glass cannons in general. That's kind of what they're supposed to do. So, excuse me. This is where ADC is going other lanes, especially mid, which is the whole new hullabaloo, which I think has already somewhat been addressed in the patches. I don't remember fully. But, you know, the main perpetrators are Lucian, Corki, which kind of has never been an ADC for a long time, even though they tried to put him back down there. Lucian, Corki, and Tristana. What do all these ADs have in common? They're mobile. That's one hallmark. That's not the only thing they need to go mid, but they need to do very good early, and they need to be mobile. But, and they kind of need to scale at least a little bit. Obviously, Tristan and Corki scale like trucks, Lucian not so much, but still. You make it work in pro play. Pro play is a different animal. But this is where ADCs are sadly going to get punished for this. And I'm talking about real ADCs. Old-fashioned, traditional, crit ADCs. We're going to get fucked for this.
Is this going to get changed anytime soon?
Yes.
So I made some changes to ADCs at the start of Split 2 to try and address some long-running satisfaction
like the new
problems
items,
ADC
the new
players.
items are weird.
That's had some unintended consequences though. We've seen ADCs get a lot more
BT
play in
doesn't
high
have
MMR
crit
and pro
anymore.
play in other lanes. We've got some changes in flight right now that should be live by the time you see this video in 14, 15, and 14,
They are.
16.
Meddler's so
to bring that talent back
serious.
down.
He's so business.
This is one of those cases where what we're looking to achieve and what we actually achieved didn't quite line up, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is where if anyone else goes bot lane, Mordekaiser, all these other fucking people, mages, LeBlanc, like, those things will be let rampant for God knows how long, and sometimes won't ever be touched, and they're fine. Granted, it is a different type of character, right? They're not ADCs, they don't scale like ADCs do, but still, this is fucking stupid.
But as with all these sort of situations,
unfair
if we
and
miss
it's
the mark
dumb.
on something, we'll go back, keep working on it, try and stick the landing better.
See, that's what I respect about
So
Riot.
from
They make
players in China,
mistakes, everyone
It feels
does,
like my
but they
games
try
are
and
decided by
fix
how
it.
many fill players there are, especially in Diamond Plus.
Hmm.
Are there plans to make autofill players on each team equal?
Here's the main issue with this question, right? The main issue is, and they kind of touched on it before, game time. Length to get into game, quality of games. Those two things are on opposite ends, and to get good with one, you have to basically take away from the other. To get better games, you have to have longer queue times in general. And already, with Diamond Plus, we're talking about a very small subset of the population. Now, granted, this population is probably the people who kind of wail on the game anyway. You kind of do want to adhere to them at least a little bit more than the general player base, at least usually, at least for gachas, even though League is not a gacha, even though it's kind of becoming one with the $200 skin fiasco. But this is where, you know, this isn't probably at the top of their priority list because it affects such a small amount of players in the totality of things. They're probably focusing more on general, and they're probably focusing more on selling skins and shit. Not to say they don't care about this type of stuff. This stuff is important and they are addressing it. I'm just saying it's not probably at the forefront of their minds.
We care that when you load in, both teams feel like they have an equal chance of winning.
They don't. It's a coin flip.
So by the time you're hearing this message, we'll...
What does that say behind here? Matchmaking improvements shipping in patch 14.17 at the end of August. Okay, so they're not even in yet.
of ship changes in mid-August that should better balance the amount of auto-filled and secondary players in each team. Now,
So it's gonna
matchmaking is
increase
something
queue
we saw
time.
a lot of questions on, so we'll do a deeper dive in our next dev update.
September.
From Brazil.
Brazil! More
honor
guys are
opponents?
quick.
I mean, short
Wait, what did they
From
say? Can they
Brazil.
bring back honor opponents? Oh, you could do that? What?
Can
I
you
forgot
bring
about
back
that.
honor opponents?
short answer. Yes.
Oh,
In September,
wow. I thought he was going to say no. Holy shit, I'm shocked.
You'll be able to honor opponents again. And you'll be able to honor
Damn.
multiple teammates.
Okay.
We're making some other changes to the honor system as well. We'll
Wow.
talk about those more soon.
Wait, so they're not really going to go into anything here. Wow.
Okay, next up we got a
So I spent that whole like 8 to 10 minutes in the beginning for fucking nothing.
question from a player in LATAM.
What
Are you
the fuck
doing
is-
anything
oh,
to
Latin
fix
America.
people entering my games?
Not
They're always doing that shit. It's hard to detect because it's like, what is the difference between someone sucking cock and someone actually inting? And most of the time, a lot of humans can tell. Bots and AI can't yet. So we can't rely on Vanguard specifically. However, you know, this is a really hard thing to do because sadly, League is a complicated game. They've made it a lot easier throughout the years, and I know this because I've played since Season 4. But, and before that, actually. But this is where, to play League and actually be good, you have to be kind of smart, at least in some ways. So many of the people in reality are not smart. They're stupid. I'm one of them. And, is it inting or is it just a good player just trashing on a noob? Who knows, right?
You specifically, Andre, but for everybody else on the planet, we definitely want to make changes here because it sucks when it
Wow.
happens to us too. It's a difficult space to get right, but we're making some changes to our detection systems to improve this.
Now, this is the hard part, right? Detection can only go so far with this because you don't want to inaccurately punish someone for this because that is a really, really bad thing. But the other big thing that I've also heard that I think is also true is a lot of inting like this happens because of frustration. Obviously, either with life, because life isn't going good for a lot of people right now, but also because League games last so long and it's sort of an investment. And if you're on a sinking ship and the ship sinks in an hour versus in 5 minutes, you don't really care if it's in 5 minutes, you're gone anyway. Okay, maybe this is a bad and dark analogy, but you don't really care if something's bad for 5 minutes. You care if it's bad for like 30 minutes, though. So the longer the games are, the more invested you are into it, which means the more angry you'll get if things are going bad, because they're going to go bad for longer, and you're sort of just kind of wasting your time. So it's a really hard thing to not have people in, because if they think it's over, again, people aren't smart. League of Legends players generally aren't smart. That's why we have iron, right? Well, iron is a different thing, but that's why we have bronze through like gold, right? People who aren't smart go there, and because they're not smart, they don't realize these things
We'll
that they could probably still win.
have to focus more on a total set of behaviors across more games
Because that's more accurate. They can't do it based off one game unless it's extremely, extremely obvious.
and things like selling items to buy fairy charms, wasting ult on cooldown, report rate over many games. We're gonna have to study a lot. This
Wow.
work is still ongoing.
They're feeding it to ChatGPT. They're trying to get Vanguard to really figure out how to ban it, how to do their jobs for them.
But we are optimistic that it should have a much higher success rate of detecting griefers.
Wow,
So we're expecting
Vanguard.
to trial this in the next few months.
AI.
We also have a devlog that's out now that goes into more detail on both the honor system and our improved griefing detection. So stay tuned.
Whoa.
All right, so this next question comes from Southeast Asia.
Okay.
My friends who are new to League are placed too high.
Wow.
They lose a lot, they get flamed, and they don't want to play. What
Listen, this is sort of like, it's sort of almost like a thing that I don't understand with League, right? Getting into League is like a trial by fire. You go in, you gotta learn how to have thick skin in this game. Now, granted, again, it's better than it was. Back in the day, oh boy, the things people used to say I cannot say here. But, this is where it's sort of like a right by initiation, where it's like in League, you're just going to get shit on. You have to just deal with it. Now, again, because League games last decently long, depending on the meta at least, because they last like, anywhere from like 20 minutes plus, sometimes almost 50, right? 45 to 50. It really sucks that you have to go through that much of a beating for that long. Like, it's really not fun, but you kind of sign up for it. And this is where I don't understand how League is still alive. Because you have all these posts on how League of Legends is horrible, it's terrible. I see most League players, me included, telling people don't play League. But still, League is making money. League has all these players. Maybe it's a good game to watch, right? But playing wise and spending money wise, because obviously you're going to spend money if you play the game, I hope, right? It's like, bro, I don't know how this game is still surviving / thriving. I mean, I don't even know if it's thriving, but like, Jesus Lord, bro, this game is so toxic, not only from a player base side, but just from a gameplay side too. You just get shit on so hard in this game.
are you doing to fix this?
Okay, so there's 3 things we're working on right
Like, you
now.
gotta go through the
The
fire,
first is
man.
Vanguard
They
removing
love
bots has
Vanguard.
made it so the matchmaking system gets much better data about how new players are actually doing because they're not getting matched against or compared to bots when their skill is being calculated.
Good.
Second, for new players to ranked, we recently
They
added a
gotta be
10
placed
normal
low.
SR game requirement to all accounts before they're allowed to play ranked at all. That gives us a lot more data on how players' skill will actually perform there, rather than just comparing them to how they did in ARAMs or RGMs or whatever.
Oh, so you literally, so if you just played ARAMs or whatever like rotating game mode there was, you could go into ranked without ever playing Rift or playing very low Rift. That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
And then
Wow.
third, we're also currently
At
working
least you used to be able to do that.
on more improvements to how we detect Smurfs in general, so that they're placed more accurately.
Ooh.
Here we've got a question from
Smurfing is so much of a double-edged sword because, like, if you're the Smurf, you love it. If you're going against the Smurf, it's terrible.
what?
Again, the game is so toxic.
actually a lot of players all over the place. Did Vanguard actually stop botting in League, like you said it would? Is
Probably 99%, or maybe like 90%.
Is Vanguard working?
Yes.
All right, the short answer is yes, and let me hit you with some stats.
Oh, here we
Ranked
go.
scripting fell below 1% for the first time in 4 years.
Crazy.
Only 1 in 200 ranked games has a scripter.
Crazy.
And we have seen very few false positives, but several cases of accounts being stolen or shared with cheaters.
Wild.
Cheaters are right.
You know, my account one day got stolen, but I was able to log in, and weirdly enough, the only thing the person did was play an ARAM game. They didn't use any of my RP, they didn't buy anything with my account, they just got on and played ARAM. And I was like, what the hell?
Running out of accounts, so please don't give them yours.
Side note here, if you haven't already enabled email multi-factor authentication, please do. That'll really help prevent this.
It really will. It really will.
There have been some integration bugs, mainly with old or vulnerable drivers or certificates, and we have seen issues with leaving your client running for long periods of time or launching on 2 machines. This can cause issues with Vanguard.
Oh no.
We're working to make sure these issues don't happen again.
Okay.
We haven't seen any Vanguard cause problems with boot looping or bricking machines, but let us know if you experience it.
Oh, alright.
The biggest complaint we are seeing is, why does this have to run from boot? Microsoft is making some changes to Windows. We may get to a point where Vanguard may not have to do this in the future. We'll see how this goes and give you an update as soon as we can. We're starting to see bad actors move to Mac, so Mac Vanguard should be coming soon. You can read about that and more today in our dev blog made by our Wizardly Vanguard team.
Nice.
Next, we have a question from a player in...
See, and that's what I like about Riot. This is just a video game at the end of the day, but they're making like really good technology that I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up like in other places. Like the same way Valve has like VAC, I think that's what it is. It's like a VAC, where it's like that's in a lot of Valve games, and I think it's even in stuff beyond. Maybe I'm not too sure, but I like that Riot is making their technology that's basically kind of, I don't know if it's leading the field, but it seems to be pretty good, and I like that. You know, they're making billions of dollars, $1 billion company. Glad they're reinvesting some of it.
North America. Do you have an update on the Champion Mastery emotes that you promised you'd be updating?
We do. We've gone through a few explorations, but we've landed on this. Now, our goal was to respect the previous design players' love while figuring out a way to make them look different and updated.
Those kind of look like the ranks. You got Emerald, Diamond, whatever the fuck is after.
We want to get your feedback on this new version, so please do let us know what you think.
I think this is a small
All right, Andre,
thing.
here comes another question from players in Oceania.
Let's
which
get a
I
fucking
believe
big
you're
question.
Familiar with, yes? Okay, why do you force champions into existing thematics?
Why not? They
So
fit.
a lot goes into
They
the
fit.
process of selecting what theme we're going to use for
What
champion
question
skins.
is this?
Sometimes that's an existing thematic.
I mean, granted, I'll answer this question right fucking now. You want to know why? Because they sell. Look at Lux. Look at Ezreal. Easy champions, easy to use. Not the best champions, but they're just easy to use, and they're widely used too. Why would you give a fucking skin to a champ like Ivern who's never played? It's not going to sell like anything, versus giving it to a champ like Ezreal who, even though he already has 20, the fucking people eat that shit up like it's fucking candy. It's no duh. Like, it's business. Come on. They're trying to make
players
money.
really want to see a champion in. Sometimes that's
They
particularly
will
aspects of
toss us a
champion's
bone
personality or
sometimes, though, with,
whatever.
like,
But
Train
we are going through a
Ornn.
bit of an update right now where we're going to put less focus on existing skin lines,
Oh?
as our starting point at least, and a bit more focus on, hey, what does this particular champion need from a new skin?
Yes!
So we're going to
yes!
look more at their portfolio, figure out what they're lacking. Whether
I'm
that's
always a fan. Like, I don't mind existing skin lines, right? I would say, like, 3 times a year max, they should go to existing skin lines. They should make new skins, or skins that don't have to be all the same, right? Like, let's say in one patch, it doesn't all have to be Anima Squad. It could be one new Anima Squad skin. Well, and I'm already using existing lines because I can't make new ones because I'm uncreative. But, pretend all of these were new instead of, like, existing ones. One Anima Squad, one Project, one Versus, one Cafe Cuties, right? Like, you could have different themes exist at the same time in the same patch. And sometimes they do it, but they only do it for, like, one skin. And it's, like, the odd one out from the bunch.
skins that really closely align with
Back in the day, how there was so much variety.
Or things that actually take aspects
Things
of their
don't have
personality
to
and
be
the ways
in a
that work, but
universe.
really reinvent them. Like, what if Azir was a practitioner of the law?
Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about. We need to have more skins that just don't have to have some crazy lore universe. They don't have to be in some alternate dimensional story. This is perfect. And obviously they could make more skins in this line too. I'm not saying they can. I'm not saying, just don't make, they can make one and dones, but they could also explore it a little bit. But they don't have to make it its whole fucking thing like Project or Anima Squad is. This is fucking amazing. This is hilarious. His fucking soldiers could be like law attorneys. That's so funny.
Yeah, we want to have that
I
wide
love
range
that
of
shit.
vibes and and just
Yes.
feel for these
Yes.
skins in ways that still make sense for the champion they are.
Yes.
Sometimes that means, you'll get things like the B skin line.
I hate the B skin line, but I understand its importance and significance.
Sometimes that'll mean things like, Rain Shepherd to really...
Rain Shepherd is good. I actually liked it. I don't like it personally. Well, I like it a little bit, but it's exactly fitting what I'm saying. Just different skin lines that don't matter.
enhance existing champion
Good.
fantasies. If
Good.
you want to hear more about how we choose skins,
Yes, this is like
we've got
old
a dev
school.
blog
Yes.
out now that goes into a lot more detail. And to spoil some stuff from it, the upcoming Prestige skin list is
Ew,
Zeri,
I hate Prestige
Diana,
skins.
Swain, and Caitlyn.
And I heard Swain's getting a little bit of a rework soon. Not like a big rework, but they're going to make him more fun, allegedly.
Okay, so this one comes from everyone. When are you going to delete
Everyone.
Yumi?
Yeah, so we're not going to be
Never.
doing that. We're going to be adding Yumi's sister, Tumi, instead.
Tumi?
Tumi will have 2 books.
Oh,
Will
shit.
be permanently attached. We'll have double crit. We'll have a 3-hit, a 4-hit, and a 5-hit passive.
Oh, they're going to dislike
Multiple
it,
dashes,
and there it is.
Global ults, yes. Multiple.
Wait, is that actually accurate? 16 mil? Wow, they're overinflating the numbers. League of Legends overinflation. I just fucking... Oh my god, they fucked me up with this.
Can transform into Lisa and has his entire kit when she needs it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yasuo and
Alright,
Yon's
that's all we have for today.
sister.
Let us know if you like this format.
I
and
love
we'll try
that. I
again
love the little
sometime.
comedy.
Or if you like, we can try something completely different.
Don't get too wild here.
Okay.
But also,
What the
don't forget
fuck
to check
was
out
that?
completely different.
Don't get too wild here.
But also, don't forget to check out the dev blogs
What the
that we mentioned
hell?
today.
We do want to take a minute to remind you that this October we'll be celebrating 15 years of League.
Let's
We'll be sharing
go!
some stories
Let's
from you,
go!
have some missions
Arcane!
to complete for free
Arcane!
rewards, all as we ramp up for World.
See, one of the best things they did, I think it was for the 10-year anniversary, is when they let out that free Annie skin. That is a good-ass skin. Like, it wasn't a shit skin, like the Arcane ones kind of were. Like, that was actually a good Annie skin. We need more of those.
2024.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the Rift.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, cool. So yeah, after Worlds 2024, like, the main thing I'm expecting is just the year of League of Legends. That's like the next big thing that's gonna happen, which is probably gonna come around preseason anyway. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's see some of the articles here. So Vanguard, I don't care. I mean, we'll pull all of them up and we'll look at them just really quickly. But let's take a look here. So overall, though, initial thoughts, this was kind of nonsense. I probably didn't even need to make a video on this, but, you know, it is what it is. And we're already past 30 minutes, so we might as well double down. You know, I heard people like long-form content, right? Either way, Vanguard X LOL. This was 3 days ago. Am I that late? Wait a minute. 22nd. Oh, I am that late. Wow. I mean, it is, again, like almost 1 in the morning, but... Anyway, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, obviously we can see from this graph it went well. Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay. If I was an investor, I'd invest more now. Yes. All right, faster bands. Yep, the graphs are going down. That must mean good. It must be the opposite of the stock market. It must mean good down. Okay, just like Mundo says. Okay, all right, cool. Yep, Vanguard is looking good. Okay, boo looping. Yep, there. Explain this. A Vanguard event near you. What? Okay. Click lag or FPS drops enabling to the... Okay, this is like fan stat shit. Holy shit. And then they're talking about Mac, how people are going there and being bad actors. Cool. I don't care. Okay. Honor and behavioral systems. This is the one I want to read. So, updating honor. When we updated in 2017, we did it with the purpose of rewarding good behavior. And they do, right? They award it way more than they used to, which was nothing. Except, like, you know, hey, you know, the teammates would be like, hey, you're cool, which is, again, nothing. In the current system, you can honor a single member, and that's it. This has led to being a way to honor players who behave well. It's used a way to acknowledge teammates who play well in game. Yeah, and that's all that happens, let's be real. If someone cared you, you're going to honor them. You don't care who was, like, the friendliest or the nicest most of the time. All you care about is winning. So, they're not wrong here. The current voice honors doesn't exactly feel honorable. Nice, okay. Making changes to the system. Okay. So pretty much every game has this. Like, at the end of the game, you could just honor everyone, but you could say what you're honoring them for. So basically, I don't know how this is going to relate to rewards, because now, technically, unless they really pissed you off, you're probably still going to honor them. Like, so everyone's going to get more honors, but either way. Wait, is that it? Is that all they fucking talked about? And you can honor enemies, too. Yeah, the current rewards don't exactly feel honorable, Huh. So basically, just in September, they're making it so we can honor enemies, but that's it. They're doing more in the future, as always. Okay, griefing, blah, blah, blah. First, okay. So they're saying they catch obvious things like buying tears and fairy charms. So basically, again, they're just reiterating what they're saying from there. Number of transgressions repaired. Wow. Also, and this is the best part of Vanguard too, they give out rewards if your game was griefed, which I really like. Future updates, we have, we have work planned to make League a safer, more enjoyable place. Nice. So again, we're going to hear more in September. Pretty cool. Okay, skins and thematics and champion fantasies. Champion first. So again, this is another one that was like extremely good. Like, look, you have little Pengu Tristana back there, and then you have Urgot who's in love with Ezreal. He has Ezreal figurines, Ezreal posters, Star Guardian Ezreal to be, real. But oh my god, man, this is what they used to do back in the day. They just used to make skins. Oh, it's coming soon, Lawyer Azir. This is so fucking cool. He looks like a falcon. Anyway, Thematics 101. Oh, I Survive, Anima Squad. So obviously, like they're saying here, they want to go right back into Project because they are overlapping. And then they have stupid BMO. Oh my god. Not related to Adventure Time. They're really not that deep. Yeah, so this is exactly the B1. B1 is very popular, but there's like no lore associated with this. Consider the B skins, they're popular and adorable, but you don't need a whole universe built around cute, buzzy little guys. Oh my god. Okay, so then they're talking about Rain Shepherd and stuff like that. Okay. And obviously they don't want to have fatigue like we have with Project and Star Guardian. I wish we got more Battle Academia skins. I think those were some of the best lines too. Anything that has neon or really flashing colors is one of my favorites. So I also like how they revitalized the Astro skin line. I heard they were gonna do something with Arclight, but I don't think they ever did. Arclight is another one they could go back to, and I heard they kind of want to touch on Infernal as well. So I don't mind these older skin lines that are kind of shit getting new life into them, especially Astro. They did wonders with Astro. Good lord. But anyway, let's see. North America, you have tended to perform more edgy me skins. But other regions like Korea, we see a lot more players' preference for more elegant, beautiful things. And this is the sad part, and I kind of had a gripe with this back in the day. Now it's not too much more of an issue, but they always used to release a lot of Asian-themed skins, a lot of skins for the, Eastern Seaboard, where it's like skins that obviously it's representing their culture, which is not a problem if it didn't happen so much. I felt like every other patch, at least a year or two ago, maybe 3, it was like a fucking Asian themed skin line, an event. It's like something. And again, I'm not saying they're bad skins. It's just like, damn, man. Like I see they're really trying to deep throat Tencent for that money. But even though that's not the way it works, that's a joke. I don't want to get blacklisted from Riot. But either way, it got better over time. Let's see. So, oh, look at the Star Guardian shit. This was such a good like event thematically and lore wise. Especially since they released the music too with Talia and Fiddlesticks. The event can always be done better in terms of the actual in-game stuff. The comic was alright, but like, it was basically a dating sim, let's be real. But like, was that the one? Fuck, I'm like mixing them up. I don't remember, but either way, it was okay, but it could have been better. But let's see what they're doing here. Greatest gonna Star Guardian Lux skin was originally just alone, which is good. So literally, Star Guardian Lux launched the whole skin line because it was so popular. And then tiering. Oh, this skin is so fucking... I haven't used it besides like maybe once, I think. But man, this should not be like a legendary. This is another example of what I'm saying about how the skins went down in quality. This is like stupid. Like, oh, good lord. This could have been 1350. So obviously they're saying, every champion should get a skin, sure, of various tiers. And I hope, and this is another issue, I forgot to mention it before. People are getting, Ezreal Lux, are getting like multiple fucking legendaries. Even Soraka at this point is getting multiple legendaries. And you have people out here with none. And it's like, what the fuck? But either way, higher tiers should provide more immersion, so they take more time and effort to make, which is fine. Don't release a legendary if it's not cooked. If it's half-baked, put it back in the fucking oven. And obviously they're talking about from a business perspective. What happens if I click this? Oh god, their business model. I don't even want to read that. You have to keep League on and running. It's more challenging to make higher tier skins for less popular champions. So yeah, that's why we had a $500 Ari skin. That said, every champion matters. We don't want to say sorry, insert champion here means you're never getting a legendary skin. We work with players soliciting feedback. Okay. We conduct a lot of research to understand. So again, they want to make money. I think, and this is something I've echoed a lot, I think for companies that make as much money as Riot does, they should do things that are not financially sound. You don't need to be dystopian, right? You don't need to have everything, far exceed profit margins. You could give back to the community because I think it gives you something invaluable that money can't really quantify, and that's goodwill. Let's just say you give the legendary skin to someone like Varus, right? Which I believe he is getting one, or he just got one recently, ironically enough. But let's say you give the legendary to someone like Aphelios. Well, Aphelios is pretty popular, so I don't know why they haven't done it, aside from difficulty because he has so many weapons. But let's just say you give the legendary to someone who doesn't really get skins and won't sell well. You're not going to break even on it. You should do it anyway if you're right, just as a love letter to the fans, to foster more goodwill. Now, granted, how much does goodwill really matter? Who knows, right? Because at the end of the day, is goodwill really beneficial for the company? Who knows? I think it is. But either way, I think it's just something they should do. I think it's sort of an obligation thing that obviously don't do it too often, right? You still want to make money. We still want the game to be alive and continue to improve. But you should give a little love letter. Give a skin that it's all right if it doesn't sell well. It's what we deserve. But either way. We can tell this, okay. So they keep an eye on social media, obviously. They should probably, and I wonder if this already exists, if they should hire people to just purely just look at the community and look at what's happening online, like the online perception of League, of the players. Now, obviously, don't purely go on that. They go a lot based off statistics, which is good, but they can't purely go off that. And I wonder if they hire people, and they probably should hire people that just specifically look at social media and just have like a hand on the community. I guess that's what the community manager's for, but I don't think their role is as expansive as what I'm saying. But either way, the interviews we conduct with players helps us best understand, sure. Okay, sometimes we're making a legendary build out a new feature we predict would be appealing, only to find out other aspects were more exciting. So let's see this little thing they have here. So lower value, new animations on champion death. Yeah, most people don't care about that. It's a nice touch, but no one cares. New animation on recall, that should be standard. New animation for emo, people decently like that. New voiceover is huge in my opinion. I'm shocked that's not higher personally. Home guard animation is interesting. I thought that would be lower than voiceover, but it is a cool thing. Champion animation overhauls, goddamn straight. This should be near the top. Champion model changes. This is decent. I can understand this being here. Ability VFX animations audio. This is, I agree with this. And distinct new features. I actually think, because obviously most of the legendaries have to have a quote-unquote gimmick, right? And this is obviously from player feedback. But, I think they're kind of running out of creativity with their gimmicks. Because back in the day, the legendaries, because they were so new, there weren't many out. Their gimmicks were alright. Now the new gimmicks like Vayne's overlay and stuff like that, they're cool. Or maybe I'm just older and I don't care. But I feel like they've just, again, gone down in quality. Like there's some legendaries, like, again, I haven't used it, I don't know. But does the Soraka one have a fucking distinct new feature? I don't think it does. Like, there's certain legendaries that just have nothing except their decent skins. Yeah, they might have model changes. Yeah, they might have animation overhauls, which is good, and I think that should be the standard. But if they can't make a good new feature, I'm happy they try. I'm happy they throw something at the dartboard, but it's like most of them are kind of just stupid. But it's nice to have to justify the price tag. I guess maybe that's why they're doing it. To quote the state of skins, a Mumu champion with a much older base has 16 animations. Set, a much newer champion, has 159. Aphelios has basically 300, which is again why they probably aren't making a skin for Aphelios. But either way, it's essential for higher tier skins to be more polished and pizzazz. We're not looking for a shift of okay. So basically, they're gonna use what we say to model skins more. Also, I don't know, like. They have to have seen, and obviously they can't comment on this, but they have to have seen what people on the internet say about Annie and Jax. Like, that's something they really can't touch, but bruh, why are they making so many Annie skins? I've seen this meme done where it's like, oh yeah, Annie's here, and this is basically Jax because it looks like the Jax mask, even though this is Tibbers, realistically. But I don't even know what the fuck this is. Is this like a prestige skin? What is this? Okay, so Speaking of what you're looking for, these champions will be getting already have gotten their first legendaries this year. So Asol got his, Vi is getting one, probably near Arcane. Victor's getting one, again, probably because of Arcane. Seraphine got hers in the new event just now, so did Aatrox, and Stylus is apparently getting one too. Wow. Okay, not bad, not a bad selection. While we're talking about skins, let's share the upcoming Prestige list. I fucking hate the Prestige skins. I think these skins are shit. But Zeri, Whoopi, Diana, Whoopi, Swain, Whoopi, and Caitlyn. I think Zeri's getting a decent amount of skins, ironically enough, too. But Zeri's fine. Diana has a lot. Swain is fine. Caitlyn, good lord. Okay, cooldowns. Skin cooldown. Every champion has a different skin cooldown based on their popularity. This is the amount of days between each skin. And this is where people on the Reddit have, like, an existing document about this. They're like, oh, the 1,000-day club. This champion hasn't gotten his skin in 1,000 days, which is insane, right? This is some nerd stuff, but we use a data science model to take into account a variety of factors. This is where they're really getting into the science of how they make money, because they want to give a skin to people who are played enough, and this is basically how they're doing it, which is crazy. The time is shorter for champions who are higher in demand, aka, again, top tier Ezreal Lux, which means that's even more critical for us to make a cool skin for a champion when they have a longer cooldown. So basically, if you get a skin every 1,000 days, they gotta make it right. We try to keep the max cooldown at, look, they said it 1,000 days. But ultimately, our goal is to give you a skin that you want. When champions are approaching their cooldown, we look for solid upcoming opportunities, but the last thing we want is to force them. Okay, we've done this before and it just feels bad. We'd rather extend the cooldown slightly past 1,000 than give you a skin that's shit. Realistically, some of them are real shit. Because realistically, if you have to wait a few more years for a Skarner skin, and then you got Duck's Skarner, mages will probably be like, what the fuck? Nah, I think this would be funny as shit. Duck's Skarner would actually be pretty good. At this point of writing, we were derailed for several minutes by the idea of a Duck skinline. I think that would be hilarious, ironically enough. Anyway, so obviously they want feedback. It matters what skin we make. Okay. So, yeah, they're saying, please let us cook and please tell us what to cook. Cool. And what's the last article? Honor skins and more. Okay. Oh, wait, no, this is just a rundown of what they talked about. Okay, cool. I don't have to really... Nice. Okay, and that's basically it. So, yeah, basically what I said before. Decent-ish video. Obviously, I hope I provided some decent commentary in this 50-minute long video. I didn't think it was going to be this fucking long. Jesus Lord. But, yeah, you know, I hope everyone enjoyed. Tell me what you guys think. And we're going to wait till September to make, I guess, the hour-long video there. It's rare that these videos go this long, but I guess I had a lot to say. But either way, hope everyone enjoyed. Hope you guys watch me at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. And that's it.